The US and Indian stock market have done very well over the last 20 years. But which market has done better? If you'd invested $10,000 20 years ago, which market would have given you more money? You know what? The results were absolutely mind-blowing. Hi, I'm Niranjan. I have almost 20 years of experience with investing in financial markets. My goal is to achieve financial freedom through passive income, and I'm here to take you on that journey with me. Since I value your time, I've put chapters in this video so that you can watch what's most relevant to you. Before we compare the stock markets, it's important for us to understand the economies of both countries. Whilst a lot of people say stock market growth and economic growth of a country are becoming less connected to each other, the reality is if an economy of a country isn't strong, its stock market cannot grow beyond a point sustainably in the long run. To measure economic growth, let's look at the GDP of both countries. As you can see from this graph, the US is a significantly larger economy. The US economy has a GDP of around $30 trillion, while India has a GDP of slightly more than $4 trillion. What you don't see in this graph is the economic growth of both countries. In this graph, you can see how the economies of the two countries have grown over the past 2 decades. It's a no-brainer that India has grown significantly faster than the US. But the reason for that is India started from a lower base, so it was much easier for India to grow vis-a-vis the US. What you can also see is apart from the financial crisis where both economies went down with GDP, as well as COVID, where there was also a drop for a short period, the two economies have had positive growth. Now, if we add all that growth over 20 years and we put it into a cumulative graph, here you can see that in India, the growth has been massive, significantly more than the States. So by this, some of you may say, hey, the Indian stock market should have outperformed the US stock market by a significant amount. It's a no-brainer, right? Well, as I told you, there are some surprising results with this. So please keep watching. But before we continue, if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me and you have no idea how much it helps the channel. Now let's get to the business end of this video. As I mentioned to you, both economies have done well. Both stock markets have done well. To measure which stock market has done better, I've decided to take the two main indices from the two countries, the S&P 500 from the US and the Nifty 50 from India. If you'd like to know more about these two things, I've made separate videos on this, and I'm putting links to it in the description below. Now, there are a few assumptions I'm going to make in this comparison. Number one, I'm not going to take into account your individual taxation situation because each and every one of us has our own different situation with taxation. The second thing, I'm not including dividends in this comparison because that would only complicate things. Now let's start by looking at the US stock market. The S&P 500, as you can see from this graph that I pulled out from Google Finance, has doubled in the last 5 years. That's pretty impressive, right? Now, let's add the Nifty 50 to this graph. So over the last 5 years, you can see that the Nifty 50 has done better than the S&P 500. It's grown by 125%. But now some of you are wondering, hey, we saw all those fancy growth numbers from India when we looked at the economy. Why is the Nifty 50 just done marginally better than the S&P 500? As I told you, there are a lot of surprises in store in this analysis, so do keep watching. I did some digging in and I found out something. The returns in the graph I just showed you are in local currency. What does that mean? That means the S&P 500 return is in US dollars, while the return in the Nifty 50 is in Indian rupees. But what if someone in the States decided to buy the Nifty 50, purchasing a Nifty 50 ETF? What would happen then? Well, I was curious about that too, and I did that analysis for you. But before I tell you about that, if you haven't already done so, please smash that like button. Thank you. In this table, you can see the compounded annual growth rate in both local currency as well as in US dollars for the Nifty 50 as well as the S&P 500. What do you notice? In local currency, the Indian market does beat the US market, 18% versus 15.8%. But now if you put everything in US dollars, you realize the S&P 500 has done better than the Nifty 50. The difference, more than 1.5%. Interesting, right? But we're not done yet. Some of you in the India camp may say, hey, this was a 5-year period. What about a longer period? Well, I decided to take the analysis back 20 years. So from 2005 to 2025. In this table, you can see in local currency, the compounded annual growth rate of the Nifty 50 as well as the S&P 500. Both have lower growth rates, but that's understandable because in the last 5 years, the economies of both countries have done very well. And after COVID, there's been an economic boom in both the countries. However, if you take the last 20 years, we had the great financial crisis, we've had various geopolitical events, as well as certain economic challenges, and as a result, the growth rates have been more muted. But what you can see in local currency is the Nifty 50 still does significantly better than the S&P 500. But now, what if someone in the States wants to invest in India? What are the returns in US dollars for the Nifty 50? If we add that to the table, you can see that the S&P 500 does better than the Nifty 50. Wow, surprising, shocking, isn't it? Even though the difference may not seem like much. So basically a difference of just 0.65%. If you extrapolate that over 20 years, the difference can be quite significant. What do I mean by that? Well, if you invested $10,000 at 8.32%, you'd get $49,200. So that's what you'd get if you put $10,000 into the Nifty 50. If you put the same $10,000 into the S&P 500, you'd get $55,800. What does that mean? That means a massive $6,600 difference over 20 years if you invested $10,000. Now, you all must be wondering, this doesn't make any sense. The Indian economy has grown significantly faster than the US market, but the returns in the stock market don't reflect that. Well, one of the main reasons is exchange rate. The Indian rupee has depreciated significantly over time. What do I mean by that? When India became independent, $1 was 3.3 rupees. Today, $1 is around 89 Indian rupees. So as a result, in Indian rupees, the stock market in India has done very well, but when you convert that into US dollars, the returns are a bit more muted. If you'd like me to make another video on why the Indian rupee has depreciated so much, please do mention it in the comments below. So does this all mean that investing in an Indian ETF is of no point or is useless if you're sitting in the US? No, I wouldn't say that. The returns in the Indian stock market or in a Nifty 50 ETF are still very respectable, close enough to the US. And let's be honest, it's the only market outside the US where you have a growing economy and stock market returns do reflect economic growth. That cannot be said of other large economies. Those in the India camp may say, hey, but in Indian rupees, the returns are great. And you're right, if you're sitting in India, you're not so concerned about what the US dollar is worth or what the Indian rupee is worth vis-a-vis the US dollar. What do you think about all this? Where will you invest your money? I'd really be interested to hear that. Please do mention it in the comments below. Please also note these are just my views. I'm making this purely for educational purposes, so please do your own research before investing. Thanks again for watching.